What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of the Anti-Gravity Group podcast. My name is Braden Carlson.
My name is Taylor.
And my name is Shane, or as you might know me, Postart.
And we thought it might be fun to try something a little bit different here because we were planning on skipping the live stream after recording this episode, but decided we're going to just go ahead and do the regular episode live. It's going to come out at the normal time on Monday, but figured we'd just let some people hang out in the chat and comment and berate us while we record. So LDRS, boys, it's coming up quickly. Well, Shane and I are leaving tomorrow as of the time of recording this. If you're listening to this, the regular release date, you missed it. Sorry, everybody. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we're doing for LDRS, and we're going to also talk about what we're doing for NSL, because NSL is coming up, and if you're listening to this as the regular release date, NSL is this coming weekend. So
You're not late
it
to
worked
that
out
party.
perfect. Yeah, so come to NSL, dude. 50,000 foot waiver, Colorado altitude, so your rockets go extra super high. Just put a bigger parachute in it.
Green chili.
Phenomenal. Yeah, the breakfast at the Comfort Suites or whatever it is, awesome. Oh, I shouldn't be telling people that because then they're gonna go eat it all before we get there.
Yeah, you're not going to have any.
Well, either way, I won't
it
have any
sucks.
because Braden will eat it all.
I did make it sound like I ate the whole pie.
Well, you
all right?
finished. Finished it off.
You were still in the room. We left before you. This is on you 100%. All right. I've kept my.
I was
tongue held
walking
long
into the
enough on
breakfast
this topic.
area, and you were topping off your bowl, and you're like, "Dude, this stuff's awesome!" And I go up to the bowl, empty.
Well, honestly, I figured they were probably going to reload it, but clearly I was wrong.
Early bird gets the worm, dude. That's on you.
Yeah, that's 100% on you.
Yeah.
No one's going to blame me for this. This is 100% you. Okay, well, let's talk about what we're working on for LDRS. Or I guess not working. I mean, we're still working on our stuff, but what are you flying, Taylor?
Well, hopefully, if you bring it there for me, I'll want to fly my super heavy composite warehouse Little John that I sent with you.
I'll think about it. I'll think
The
about
not so
it.
little John.
I was thinking the other day, wouldn't that be super hilarious if I showed up and you're like, "Oh, I forgot it at home."
I mean, not outside the realm of possibility,
Yeah.
but we got it. We already talked about it. We're going to load her up. What are you flying it on?
Well, I would like to fly it on a K1100, but I don't have one. And I don't have any motors, so I'm going to try to buy one there, I guess. Motors are scarce right now, so anyone coming to LDRS with a K1100, hit me up.
Well, actually, maybe somebody can fact check since we're live right now, but AMW just got a bunch of Aerotech stuff in, and they're coming to LDRS.
Yeah, it's not on their website,
So maybe
though.
they've got one. If you can't find one, I might let you.
Can you bring it as a
purchase
backup?
mine. Yeah.
In case I'm just a
yeah.
sad boy that needs a K1100. But I'm going to try other options first.
I'm not giving you a banging deal on it, though, because I want it.
Well, can you just give me a little bit of a deal?
Oh, I could give you what it will cost for me to buy another one on sale.
Okay.
I think it's missing a sealed disco ring.
Oh,
but yeah, it's
every rocket motor Braden has is missing an O-ring.
well, I used it for my K1275. That really, it was a great decision to do that. So, here we are. Yeah, but Postart, what are you flying?
I've got my 4-inch Prometheus. I'm putting my M1315 in it. And then 3-inch Punisher on a J800.
Oh, he's using the J800.
Finally, dude,
Man.
you've had that thing for like 4 years.
Yeah, it was originally going to be my level 2 motor. I bought it from you.
Oh, that's right. And then we were like, no, that's going to flutter the fins right off of your red max.
Yeah.
We should maybe go with something else.
Yeah.
And it turned out it didn't matter because a rock took the fins off your red max.
Shout out that one rock.
Dude,
I hate you.
Shane was putting his M1315 together and we were looking at mine. I kind of forgot. Well, like I knew the one that I have has the Medusa nozzle, but I kind of forgot about like the 75 Medusa nozzle scream. Like the L850s really did it a lot.
It's
but
it's
I'm
not
kind of hoping.
it's not a guaranteed thing. I think I don't
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen some do it and some not do it, but now I'm kind of hopeful that it will. So I'm like, oh, I kind of want to put it in something heavy, so it'll be super gnarly.
Yeah, I don't know. I've
All right,
only
awesome.
heard it on LA50s, so I don't have a good point of reference there.
Yeah, my dad flew one and it actually did it really good. Which reminds me, somebody we know was putting an L850 together and it had a Medusa nozzle with just the center hole drilled out and huge.
Yeah, they were doing that right before they switched to the single throat nozzle they use now.
Okay.
So that was
he asked me about it. I was like, I've never seen that.
That was when they first let's do the cross loads so it could be used in a CTI case, because the Medusa nozzle sets back too far in the case on the CTIs.
Well, there you go.
If the outside ports were open, I guess it would burn or heat the case too much, maybe. Yeah, pretty dumb.
I guess that makes sense.
And then the Aerotech's like, well, this is kind of dumb to have just the center open. So what if we just made a different nozzle that's better?
I like pretty dumb.
I'm paraphrasing.
Right,
I don't think that's exactly what Gary said, but that would be awesome if that's how it went. I don't know, guys. This is kind of dumb.
We were just quickly going to give a shout out to the people in chat. Garage Man Cave hailing from Minneapolis. Joey Draney says, what's up? Chase Aerospace says, what's up? Rob Doherty says, sup, y'all. Path Touch 1 says, yo. Way to shake things up there. Zero G Prince says, hello. And Brian Kelsey says, tonight on Nozzle Talk. Well, I do want to talk about nozzles some more, actually, because the tiny 98 millimeter nozzle is like adorable. So I'm flying an L952, which is the 2 grain White Lightning 98 millimeter.
Oh, you've never flown a regular one?
No, I went straight to ends. Wait, have you? Does the 1939 use the smaller one? Oh, interesting. I kind of want to put M1939 in my 5-inch Punisher, maybe at Airfest.
Yeah, it would break the waiver at TCC.
Yeah, I kind of thought maybe NSL, but I haven't filled out any BFR stuff, so I'm not going to just show up with an M and be like, I'm going to fly this 20,000 feet.
Can you not still sign up?
It's supposed to be 30 days out, and they say that, you know, if you bring something else, it'll be subject to RSO approval, which is kind of just how it works anyway, but yeah, so I don't know. It's not like it'd be extreme, and it's not the rocket's first flight, but
because I forgot to send anything in.
It would be yours might be a problem actually.
Yeah.
Why?
You should probably send them an email about it.
Yeah.
Like it flew last year. Is that what your prep is after this? You have to build an entire minimum diameter rocket, basically.
I just need to put 2 fins on. And then figure out the electronics situation. I'm hoping the sled from the 2-stage will just fit, but it's probably going to be just a bit too long, and I'll have to make some really stupid looking sled again.
Your cube broke on the last one. Okay, well, anyway, we'll talk about NSL in a bit. I'm also flying my night rocket on a CTI J145 long burn skid mark at night, and it's going to be sick. What if I show up and they're like, hey, the night launch is G motors and down? It doesn't say anything anywhere, so I would be really sad.
Are you still going to fly it on Thursday?
No, I was planning on flying it on Friday. Oh. I just wanted to irritate you.
I was hoping that was the
case. Well, I'm flying everything else on Thursday, but that I'm like, it's not like imperative that I film the night launch. Night launch videos are pretty difficult anyway.
What else are you flying? The L952 and what?
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
At the moment. I don't know. Like, yeah, that's probably it.
Are you putting nose weight in your Punisher?
It's cooking in the garage right now. quite a bit of nose weight, actually. The 2 grain 98's really pushing it with the 5-inch Punisher.
What's that bring your stability up to?
1.06, roughly.
How much nose weight?
12 ounces.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I guess it was super marginal with the 3 grain.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Roxim was showing. No, Shane and I actually measured it, and it was like 0.6 with the 2 grain in there. But
and what is it? Like, what is it with the 3 grain?
Like 0.75. It's really not that big of a difference. And I don't know. It's like that rocket I think was less statically stable than that on the M2050, if I recall correctly. I can't remember now. No, I think it was.
Well, but you got a lot of thrust with the M2050.
Yeah, and so I was like, David was suggesting that I'd like cast the weight in the nose cone so it can be removable and just run a longer bolt. But like, for one, it's the pre-Curtis buyout nose cone, so like, I kind of just want a new one anyway. And 2, I just like don't really care that much to have it removable. Like the extra 12 ounces is not.
It's not really going
to make or break
a big difference.
How much weight's in yours?
Barely any. Probably like 4 ounces.
Well, you have like 35 pounds on the back though with all that carbon fiber, like Shane's.
Oh my god!
Our rockets probably weigh the same now.
Yeah, probably. Mine was like 16.8 before the nose weight, so it's going to be under 18.
Okay, mine was just under 19, I think.
Oh my god!
Whoa, what?
God,
yours
that's
is fat.
That's crazy. Wait, Shane, how much is yours weigh? The fillets are the size of Africa.
It was 17 pounds 3 ounces.
Wait,
after the carbon.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Because I'm better than you.
Yeah, he's kind of goated, if we're honest.
There's no way. I'll have to reweigh mine. Is that with a parachute?
I think so, yeah. That was loaded.
I don't believe it.
Without a motor.
I don't believe it.
I was thinking about putting my pretty Cert 3 medium in my Punisher for LDRS since it's basically at sea level, but I'm like, it's still kind of pushing it. So
yeah.
I put my large in there. The one that we destroyed with the 12-inch Punisher.
Woo!
Joey Draney says not sure about LDRS, but NSL is G and below for the night launch. I didn't even know NSL had a night launch.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Dude, did you see their screening October Sky at the hotel that's also a drive-in?
Yeah.
Dude, I have been like every couple months I remember that place exists and like start thinking about booking just a vacation where I go stay in that hotel for the weekend. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
It's like a hotel that's round and the hotel itself is a drive-in. So there's like sliding doors and you just open the like curtains and there's a drive-in theater. So from your hotel room, you just watch the movie. Yeah, it's sick. No.
That's kind of sick.
It's pretty far away from NSL, like from Alamosa, I mean. Well, I think it's like 25 minutes. So it wouldn't be like that pleasant for driving to the launch site. But yeah, I drove by it. You remember, Shane, we saw it last year. And I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
So sick. Seb Large asks, is anyone going to Mini Midwest Power in 2 weeks? I'm sure someone is, but we are not. We will be at National Sport Launch West, hosted by the San Luis Valley Rocketeers in Alamosa, Colorado. Okay, well, what are you flying at NSL, Taylor?
Hopefully my 3-inch minimum diameter rocket that I flew last year on another M685. This time with a single throat nozzle and hopefully lower winds aloft. The big Sumo on an L1256 and 4 J350s.
Yeah.
That's going to be sick.
Gonna light them all on the ground.
Bang them all on the ground.
That's right. And then my the Lance Beta on a what is that? Oh, the AMW 3 grain 54 Green Gorilla J370, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then my level 3 rocket, which I'm repainting right now to look like an Aerotech Arrow. On a K555, hopefully drag racing Braden with his Delamar, right?
Yeah, I just ordered the decals from Sticker Shock. They're quite expensive. It was because I did a wrap. So as you'd expect, dude, he uses like proper like car wrap vinyl though. It's like channeled, so you can get it all seated properly and get all the air out.
What does it mean, channeled?
There's like channels on the back of the vinyl.
Oh, I didn't know
little
that was
tiny
a thing.
canyons to let the air out. Yeah, it's really nice.
I always wondered how that worked.
Yeah, so hopefully I don't screw that up because I mean it wasn't that expensive if you ever looked into wrapping a car. How much that vinyl cost? It was like $150 or $170 or something like that. I can't remember, but under $200, and that is also with the decal for another rocket. But I'm not going to spoil that yet. Well, Postart, what are you going to fly at NSL? Oh yeah, Postart's doing big S at NSL.
Yeah. 5-inch Punisher once again with an N3300, and then 3-inch Punisher with a 4-grain. I don't know what one.
Oh yeah, Eric was like, "I have these motors. What do you want?" And Shane told him, "Surprise me."
Yeah, I was like, I'll bring my 1706. Surprise me.
Yeah, once again, as always, shout out to Eric Beavers. It's just
True.
he just loves watching you push that rocket specifically. Which is great because it's a sick rocket. It's not, well, you're still going to go over Mach 2 probably on that, yeah? Or close?
I don't think so.
What,
I think it'll
the
do like
5-inch?
1.9. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just under.
Yeah, the N3300 is kind of soft, honestly, which is an unpopular opinion. I'm sorry, but it just kind of is.
I mean, it's not that soft. It's just not like an N5800.
It's not like an N2000.
I mean, it has more thrust than N2000.
Yeah. It's all right, I guess. But if you sim the same rocket on an N2000, it's probably pretty similar speed.
Yeah, just lower acceleration.
Which I guess is punishment in its own way.
N2000,
like Taylor said,
is more impressive looking.
Yeah, I love the N2000.
Such a good motor.
Dude. Eric's gonna light you up for saying that, though.
What?
He just likes to give Shane these motors because they're both Redline fanboys. What was I talking about? Oh, what I'm flying. Right. I don't know. Hopefully the Delamar, as long as I actually get it all together. But we're going to LDRS, and then I will then have like 3 days to wrap and prep the Delamar to fly, which also involves sanding and priming it, which I haven't started on at all. So we'll see how that goes. I would like to fly it. I think I'm going to bring a 4-inch Demon, and if I can kind of slide the old, I didn't do the paperwork, but can I fly this because it's barely an L trick? I think I'm going to put one of my AMW L1300 Blue Baboons in there.
In what?
Which should be pretty nasty. My 4-inch Demon.
Oh, that's the 2550?
Yeah. And then, if not, I have the 5-grain White Wolf as well, the K670? I can't remember. 675? I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I want to fly some of my AMW motors, dude. I just got so many, you know?
Okay.
But yeah, dude, I just really need to fly a bunch of rockets is what I need to do. But honestly, after LDRS and NSL, I'm probably not going to because we're moving and I'm trying to like do a bunch of extra side work and S so that I can pay for moving.
Do you guys have a place lined up? Or are you still working?
No, it doesn't work like that here. You just like if you're not inside 30 days of moving, they will just tell you to go away. Yeah. They're like, no. Like nothing lasts more than like 2 weeks on the market here. And if there is something that's been here longer than that, like there's a reason. So
it makes sense.
There's a couple though I was looking at a lot closer to LA that there's one that's been up for 3 months, and it's just because they started the rent at like $4,000, which was crazy optimistic. So they've just been dropping it and dropping it and dropping it. Now it's kind of in our price range. So I'm like, dude, hopefully nobody takes this house, and in 2 months it's just still there, and then we'll just slide in there because it's in the city that Shane and I originally wanted to go to, but the prices are kind of right now. So it's as the prices go up, we move further east. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of good stuff, and like that's the cool thing about being in one of the most populated areas in the world is that like there's unlimited houses for rent. Like 30 go up a day. So
yeah.
Once we're inside a month, we'll just figure it out. Okay, well, I think that pretty much covers NSL and LDRS. Hopefully we see y'all out there. We, as usual, take diet DDPs. We take Rain White Gummy Bears. I do personally. Shane likes Red Bull.
I like Rain Gummy Bear too. Or, yeah, I mean, I'll actually drink any energy drink.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't feel obligated to bring us stuff, but people have been bringing us Diet Dr. Peppers. So, like, if you are so inclined to bring us something, you want to change it up. Energy drinks are high up. I've been drinking the sugar-free Rock Stars lately.
Yeah, dude, those actually are good. If I don't go to Costco, I usually get those at the gas station because they're cheaper than everything else.
Yeah, dude, I keep getting Maverick coupons for them for $1. It's a pretty good deal. And Winco just always has them for $1.18. Solid. But we're going to talk about rocket surgery. Okay. So this is a new segment we sort of introduced, but if you haven't made it to the end of the podcast, you probably don't know about it yet. This is Ask the Rocket Surgeon, and the rocket surgeon is all of us. Oh, you send us questions about a rocket you're working on, or a project, or a repair, or a problem that you have, and we will answer it to the best of our ability. I forgot to talk about what Matt's doing for LDRS. Has he told you yet, Taylor?
He mentioned that he was going to try to build something there, but he didn't really elaborate. So he called me and I was like kind of busy, and he didn't really know what to say. I don't know. He acted like he had talked to you though.
Yeah, so he was talking to me about kits to potentially buy because AMW is going to be there. Rocketry Supplies is going to be there. Scott Binder is going to be there. Chuck Walker, who was a Patreon supporter, gave me a whole bunch of kits and stuff, and I told Matt if he wants, he can have this 4-inch fiberglass kit. It's a custom design kit. It's like an upscale of a Lock Photon, but the fin slots are cut in the wrong spot for the upper fins. So we're either going to have to do some modification to the fin tabs and have giant holes in the airframe, or he's just going to have the fins in the wrong spot, which I think is probably fine, right? But I was like, we'll get some CA and we'll get you some JB quick so we can do your fillets, and we'll hotel build it, and then you'll just go buy a motor and fly it. So he's pretty amped on it.
Was it 54?
Yeah. I thought about offering him one of the motors Chuck gave me too, but they're all pretty new production CTI 54s.
Oh, he would love that.
It would be
you would never see Matt fly a rocket again, dude.
Like, yeah, I'm doing the LDRS guy thing. We're doing a hotel build, and then I'm just blow it up. So, dude, one of them's a K160. How lucky is he feeling?
Oh man, yeah.
The long burn.
When I was looking at motors, Robert has a bunch of Pro 54 stuff online. I was like,
I know, dude. He's got K740s.
Yeah.
He's got K1440s. He's got K300s.
Yeah. And I always wanted to fly the, what's the 4-grain White Thunder K940?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. Or 945? No, that's.
I think it's just, I think it's 940. But I'm like, what are the chances that it's actually going to work? And I would be borrowing a case from, I guess, Postart? One of you guys has a case.
Yeah, so I saw Robert fairly recently, and I was like, hey, these are new motors, right? Are they good? And he's like, they could be. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that doesn't make me want to spend $200 on one. And yeah, so did you see the Rocketry Forum post from Anthony Cesaroni?
Yeah.
Talking about how he's got
Yeah.
great news coming down the pipeline. I'm about to say it on the podcast, so it's not much better than just making the post on the Rocketry Forum. But I was tempted to just post a picture of my case and be like, are we going to like address the 54 millimeter motor issue? Because it's not a secret. And it would be really cool if we got to fly some of this. Like the K740 is one of my favorite motors, period. That motor is so good. And I'm not going to buy one because I think it's going to blow up.
I think I saw
So
that
it'd be great.
I don't remember if it was for 54s or 38s, but Robert was selling a like unauthorized like fix for one of the sizes that was a washer that to put on top of the motor to compress it further.
Yeah. He was telling me about that. He also apparently isn't going to be selling CTI stuff anymore. I don't know if you saw that post on Facebook, but apparently Robert's going strictly Aerotech, which makes me think perhaps the unauthorized repair could have been involved. I'm 100% speculating here, but it seems like the relationship with CTI has for sure come apart, which is unfortunate because like Robert and Gloria used to be the CTI vendors, you know?
AMW Pro X.
Yeah, you could trade in your Aerotech hardware for CTI hardware. They made wind chimes with old Aerotech hardware and stuff. Oh, he's gone.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, while we wait to see if Taylor's going to return, we should briefly touch on what we're excited to see at LDRS. And obviously for me, the Moonliners. They're flying like the subscale one, and apparently a handful of them.
I was going to say, don't they have like 4?
Yeah, dude, I'm so excited. I hope the big one flies perfect this year at Sod Blaster so that they can then fly it again, because I want to see that thing in person.
Yeah.
So I'd be very excited for that. Somebody's flying a 12-inch Hawk on a 4-grain 98 CTI skid mark. That's going to be sick.
Yeah.
So those are my excitements for LDRS. There's also a guy who has I don't know what scale it is, but there's a big interceptor upscale that's like, he posted it leaning against his garage, so it's like probably 7 feet tall, which is pretty sick.
Cool.
I don't like a whole lot of sci-fi stuff, but the interceptors I love.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to shout out our friend Joe Hill, the 7.5-inch Cheetah.
Yeah, dude. Right. And his 2-stage. But yeah, the big Cheetah is going to be sick.
Yeah.
David, I believe, is bringing his upscale Miranda as well.
Oh.
Okay. Let's talk about Rocket Surgeon requests. Chase says, got a good one for you, Rocket Surgeon. I crashed my baby out at Rockstock a while back and haven't come up with a good way to fix it. It's too sentimental to scrap, but I'm scared to ruin it. The booster landed a little hard and kinked the tube pretty hard right below the top centering ring. So what do I do? Thought about doing a careful cut around there and sliding a coupler in, but I need to get rid of the kink and repaint. That blue paint color is discontinued. It's built special to accommodate a big, long hybrid case, but I never got to fly one yet. You
said right above the centering ring?
Right below the centering ring.
Oh.
Here, let me load the picture for you, just so you have a point of reference. I mean, it's pretty straightforward for the people listening who can't see it. It's just a wrinkle right above. There's 3 colors. So let's see. Let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Too pretty hard right below the top centering ring. I mean, I think your solution there to like make a careful cut and slide a coupler in there is kind of the only option.
Yeah.
Like what I would maybe do is, like, since you have the centering rings, slice between the two rings and just like peel the tube off, right? And then cut couplers up so that you can slide it in between the two rings, and you basically have just like this skeleton. It's like you're reskinning an aircraft wing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then take a tube, cut a slit down the side of it, wrap it around where you've now put those couplers so it covers up everything you just removed, and just sand and fill until you can't tell it happened anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's about all you got, short of cutting it at the blue paint and just building a new fin can, which doesn't sound very fun.
Mm-mm.
Taylor said he's going to try and reset his router, so I guess we'll see. Do you have any other solutions?
No, I really don't. I was thinking along the lines of the same thing.
Yeah, you're going to have to just skin it and put a new skin on.
Yeah.
I wonder, I can't tell from the nose tip, it almost looks like graphite, so I can't tell if it's fiberglass. If it's fiberglass, it's going to be a lot harder, but
There's no way that wrinkle is in fiberglass.
oh yeah, I forgot that was the whole problem. Right,
Yeah.
right. As I'm looking at the picture, I'm thinking about the Taylor situation more than I'm thinking about being a rocket surgeon.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not a regular surgeon, because then I'd be just thinking about our friend's internet connection instead of poking someone's brain correctly.
Yeah, you're locked out. You're locked out.
I am locked
Oh.
out. Taylor's back, ladies and gentlemen. That's good, because
Yeah.
I was really hoping you would be here for this next one. Rocket surgery. What you missed was Chase's rocket has a wrinkle in it between, like, below the top centering ring. The blue paint on the top of the rocket is discontinued. So, and he doesn't want to scrap the rocket. So I basically suggested cutting the tube between the two rings, peeling it off, and then putting couplers in there so you could then get a new piece of tube and wrap it around it like a airplane skin and sand and fill it.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like it could work.
What, do you have a different solution? You want to see it?
Sure.
This is what we're up against.
So he wants to maintain the blue
Yeah.
or not mess it up.
Short of just cutting it at the blue and building a new fin can is what I said, was pretty much you're kind of stuck with the reskinning option.
What do you mean reskinning?
So, like, cut long ways between the two centering rings, right? And then cut around at the ends and peel that whole section of tube out of there. So you have an exposed section of motor tube between the two centering rings. Then take some coupler, cut one in half, and you're going to have to put slits in those so you can slide it around the motor tube, but you're going to glue one in place up top and one in place at the bottom. And then you're going to take another piece of 4-inch tube, put a slit down that so you can wrap it around and then fill it and paint it.
Where is the centering ring below the blue part?
That is unclear. Chase was in the chat, but I don't think he is now, unfortunately.
Because if it was, I would just cut it just ahead of the ring and then, like, take the ring off and then just put a new piece of tube in with the coupler.
Oh yeah, that could work.
You just have, like, you'd cut a new ring, but you could cut it off.
Yeah, if the blue paint's really the only thing standing in the way, you could just cut the tube at the blue paint. And then, like you said, you could take the ring off or just cut the whole motor tube shorter.
Yeah, you could do that if you had the length.
And then just slide a new coupler in there and put a piece of filler tube in there. I think it could work. Okay, more rocket surgery. Mark Mozo says, "Hi guys. So I built a Terrier Sandhawk 2-stage and I'm trying to wrap my head around the whole air start timing. Sick, by the way. Dude, I just bought an Estes one. The Estes Pro Series Terrier Sandhawk.
So sick.
I got a dumb good deal on it because it was sitting in the same hobby shop that I got the Estes Dude from.
Dude, how did you not see it when you were there before?
It's new. So I saw the post on Facebook that it was in that box, and I messaged Sean, and I was like, can you go see if that's still there? And he forgot, and I forgot. And then I was down there this weekend doing RC car stuff, and we went to the hobby shop, and I was like, oh, Ash, I got to see if that's still here. And unfortunately for my credit card, it was. I did get a smoking deal on it, though, and I was like, I'm going to sell this because, like, this is just a good deal for some resale. And then, you know, I'm like, or I could keep it because, like, if I sell it and someone else has it, then I won't have it.
That's a good point.
It's tough to get around, really.
It's the worst
anyway,
thing about selling
Or,
stuff.
yeah.
You're like, you could give it to me.
No, you could sell it and then get a lock Terrier Sandhawk.
Yeah, I probably could get enough money to do that, but I don't know. It's kind of cool. We'll see. We'll see where I land on it. Like if I sold it, the last one sold on eBay for $150. At that point, after the eBay fees and stuff, I wouldn't really make that much money on it. So I'm like,
good point.
It'd be negligible. Anyway, he says, I've got a simple timer that I was planning on using, and I've ran it through Roxim a number of times. My question is, how long should I allow for the motor to build up pressure and take off? Because when you watch videos, it seems like no two motors are the same. Yeah, they aren't really. It might be 1 or 4 seconds before they take off. Is there a rule of thumb for the motor delay for an air start? Also, WTF is a Postart. We'll handle this in order.
I would
Go ahead.
I figured about a second. But I mean, it could take a little bit longer, but you have to think the rocket's going to be coasting for a bit, so you got some time to play with.
Yeah, as long as you aren't like really pushing it towards the end of the coast and it being like barely moving fast enough to safely light a motor, then you've got more time to play with than you think.
Yeah, I feel like if you're not trying to go crazy for altitude or anything, a nice 2-second gap is pleasurable to observe.
All right, that's crazy. Anyway,
well, not like that.
That's gonna be a new soundbite.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
I couldn't think of the right word.
I think you're right, though.
Nice to watch.
Yeah, enjoyable.
Enjoyable. That's what
way
I was
less weird.
That's the word I was looking for. That's a lot less weird.
Yeah, I think so. Like if you're aiming for 4 seconds, programming it for 3.5 is probably going to put you right around 4 to 4.5, depending on how fast the motor lights. But yeah, as long as you're not pushing the envelope to where like that extra 1 to 2 seconds would make it an unsafe flight, especially because you're using a simple timer that does not have any tilt detection lockout, I wouldn't push it. But yeah, so you know, take your staging gap and shave a second off if you want, because what's it gonna hurt other than a little bit of altitude? Also, shout out Terrier Sandhawk, one of the coolest sounding rockets ever. Okay, let's see. We had a couple more somewhere. We might have already done them. I think, yeah, okay. We did the Mad Cow Torrent with the rail button situation. So, I set this up so it would be the Rocket Surgeon and Q&A. So this is where the live chat's going to come in. There's people still here, so if you have any questions, ask them in the live chat, please. Type them up. Let's get some questions flowing. We have an email from Liam. I gotta say, you're spelling my name wrong, man.
Oh,
He's not doing Brandon, which is great, but he's adding
With
the
a
Y.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says, I flew the rocket I've sent photos of to you guys a few times. If the simulation said to be trusted, it went Mach 1.1 and 3,000 feet. There was no tracker or altimeter, so we never saw it again. Yeah, that's Relatable. Which is sad, but it hauled off the pad. I attached a video and it slowed to 10% real speed. Also, just a thought experiment. What if we take the 12-inch Punisher to balls and fly it on Braden's... He's just nominating my 03400.
Oh.
We use hole saws, punch out the centering rings, and shove 6 Loki 54mm M motors in it. Oh my god, dude. That would cost so much money. What? And an M1378 with the case is like $1,200.
Yeah.
And then we still wouldn't have anywhere near the impulse we could have with 75.
What's he talking about? Hole saws?
The cases won't fit.
Yeah.
The length.
Yeah.
We could just use 75s though.
Yeah. Yeah. And for a lot less money, we could have 75mm M's of the same impulse for half the price.
We already have the hardware.
Yeah. With adapters, of course. Yeah, that's really the biggest issue. Even if we had the money, Taylor would put his foot down and putting adapters in there.
Yeah.
Remember our original plan?
No.
For the very first flight?
Oh, we were going to adapt down and do all Blue Thunder.
K1100s, yeah.
Yeah, so we could do a true Porthos flight. And then we were like, what are we thinking, dude? Obviously, we're better.
Oh.
Well, what happened was I got a smoking deal. The next week or something, someone posted 2 Rouse Tech 2560 cases with closures for a really dumb amount, like good deal. And I'm like, well,
dude, the 2560
this just became very doable.
They go crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
And someone sent me one who watches the podcast who knows that I like hardware. Was like, hey, actually, it might have been Robert. I can't remember. But somebody I know.
Oh.
No, I think it was Robert. I don't remember if it was an email or not. But anyway, someone was like, hey, look, here's a Dr. Rocket 75-2560 on eBay. It was $100. I was like, yeah, I'll take that. Great, thank you. Anyway, he says, if you guys still haven't decided on a new name for the Punisher, I would like to pitch the Shark, then paint it like a Delta II when it carries GPS satellites with the shark face on the nose cone. Taylor's already out. Anything related to actual spaceflight, he has zero interest in.
Yep. Taylor
won't
hates
be at LDRS,
space.
unfortunately, but will be at balls and will bring plenty of Diet EDP for y'all and some lemonade for your boy. I still vote that if we're renaming it and it's not going to be sponsored, that it becomes the Alaskan bullworm.
But shouldn't we save that for Punisher 2?
Yeah, that's going to happen for sure. That's a real thing. You're crazy.
Or another fictional project?
You don't want any more big rockets.
I think he does. He just doesn't want to store any more big rockets.
He's the only one being responsible about it.
No,
Yeah.
once I get the new house.
Oh, you're right.
Space.
That means we get more.
We can do whatever we want, and then we'll deal with whatever
Dude.
that problem is later when I have to get a storage unit.
We don't need a storage unit. We can just drop all our stuff off at Taylor's house that we're not using.
Oh, yeah. Because if we move into a smaller house, we'll just get a trailer and take it all to Taylor's.
Not yet.
A Taylor and take it all to trailers.
In
trailers,
in a year and a half or so, you can do that.
Okay, well, great. I'm gonna make sure that stays as a soundbite so that there's undeniable evidence. Finally, how did Matt get the nickname Macho Matt, and how did Shane come to be called Postart? P.S. Did Matt ever replace Taylor's 3840? I mean, tentatively, right? It still hasn't come yet, but he bought one.
So Matt ordered a 3840. We'll just put it at that. He has not received it, and it is not explicitly said that he's going to give it to me.
Oh, okay. Also,
it's
I should clarify.
It's heavily implied.
Because he put 38/40, and some other people have thought that we've been saying 38/480. I do want to specify that it was way, way more expensive than that. This was a 75 3840, which is what, $500 at this point?
Good God, are they really?
Matt wishes it was a 38/480. It would be way easier on him. But yeah, so apparently one's in the pipeline, and we'll see how it goes. We're not going to make any commitments or refutable phrases or sentences or statements.
I mean, since Matt's not going to listen to it, I'll just say, At this point, I may just let him keep it.
Oh, wow.
Didn't you tell him that before? You just wanted the closures.
Oh, yeah.
And didn't he just order the case and not the closures?
Did he really?
He better have got the closures. He
He's
lost
like,
the closures.
Well, in that case,
Yeah,
I'll just buy
awesome.
myself a nice new case. Oh, man,
Well, because
that's
right now he
awesome.
can't fly 2 grains, and he has a K560. And he's
Great
certainly not
motor.
using my case.
Mine either, dude.
We
Yeah.
learned our lesson on that.
Dude, I'm bringing my last Wildman tracker to LDRS.
Is that all you got?
Well,
you have-
LL
Yeah.
still hasn't replied to me, but I have a bunch of the Alex ones. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Simple Timer does have rotation detection, but it's fixed at 45 degrees, says COG Prince. Oh, yeah. Well, that's kind of gnarly, but I guess it's
They're like,
better than nothing.
well, it won't hit the ground, but
Right, yeah. It also won't
It'll
hit the same state it took off in. Joe Stevenson says, have you used aluminum all thread in smaller rockets? How small? Because, 54, yeah. I haven't built anything with an electronic space smaller than that. And I wish I'd never done a 54, honestly.
But you
I've thought
keep
about it.
doing it.
Yeah. And you know what? I keep seeing all these fun 3D printed sleds and how small you can make everything with featherweight electronics. And I'm like, oh, that looks kind of fun. I don't know why I keep thinking that. It's kind of making me think my electronics are going to go in the nose tip of my N1560 rocket.
Am I designing that?
You bet your A.
Yeah, that checks out.
I kind of was thinking doing Blue Jay and Blue Raven and then doing accelerometer only for Apogee.
ooh, I don't know that I would do that.
Why?
Because if
What
it
if it's
doesn't
going
fly straight,
sideways?
Oh,
or
yeah, I
does
guess
the big,
that's
it does the big arc.
Dude, if a rocket that sims to 80,000 feet takes off sideways, I'm signing off that I'm never seeing that.
Well, it
again
doesn't even
anyway.
have to be
That's a good point.
sideways. It just needs to be like a few degrees. Like,
Yeah, I guess you're right.
If you're like 15 to 10 or 15 degrees off, like it makes you'll just have a really fast deployment.
For some reason, I'm still afraid that the barometer is going to be messed with if I have it in the tip of the nose, despite the fact that I've seen virtually unlimited evidence that that's incorrect.
Just do one accelerometer and one barometric.
Barrow. Yeah, I was thinking the Blue Jay and Blue Raven, you can set them to whatever. So you can do multi-sensor fault tolerant. So I've got, you can have Barrow and accelerometer, and I think the gyro also. And if any of them seem off, it will check the other ones before it panic fires, which is nice. But I was kind of thinking maybe Easy Mini and a Blue Jay, because both very small, and then the different manufacturers thing that we've said is dumb on this show in the past. Carl Robinson says sup turkeys. Yeah, not a lot, just chatting, about to go prep some rockets. Colin Brum says, anything special to consider when designing a clustered rockets, or is it just a regular rocket with more tubes inside? Also, how do you hook up a cluster on the pad? Ooh, boy.
Well, one of the main things to consider is the incredible amount of weight you're adding to the back of the rocket with a bunch of motors. So make sure it's balanced correctly, and then think about the configuration of the motors. Like, it doesn't really matter, but generally it's smart to have the higher thrust in the middle. And like, if you do three in a line, they say is no good. But if you have if the motor in the center is big, then I don't see a problem with it. I think that was from like if you had 3 of the same size motor in a line, Because if you had only had one light or something, then it is really asymmetrical.
I think the best takeaway is that the best cluster combination you can have is two 98 millimeters side by side.
Yeah, for sure.
That's about as good as it gets. I thought about it again though, dude. What if we made one giant fin that has cutouts for the motor tubes? Okay.
What do you
And
mean cutouts?
So it's one giant fin the entire span. We're only going to be able to fly like 3 grain motors because the tube's not going to go beyond, the length of the motor tube. Unless we also make the roots of the fins like a center section that goes up the tube.
Oh, I see.
The length of a 15360. That way, the two tubes are connected with G10 between them with the perfect gap for the rear closures. And then it's all one big assembly, so those fins don't have to be basically surface mounted. It'll only weigh like 80 pounds. Pretty smart. Pretty smart. Y'all's Honest John Cluster rocket was freaking awesome. Yeah, listen, don't give them any credit for any of that.
Dude, that was all me and Postart.
Yeah.
Braden.
However,
that was mine. No, I'm not scared to fly my 7.5-inch rocket on all 5 motors on the first flight. So somebody chickened out, but I didn't. And you know what? I almost lost it, but then I found it and it was cool.
Dude, I wasn't scared. I just wanted to see everything work. That's all.
Interesting. I saw mine work. Saw the chute come out and then it landed. I didn't see where it landed exactly. It's just why I almost lost it. But
yeah.
How high did it go again? Just under 10,000. It was like 9,600 or something like that. And way faster than I thought it was going to go. You imagine if I had done the M1315 like I originally planned? It would have been so fast.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing the 1297 in the middle of the Sumo, but I'm like, I'm really just kind of wasting it because I ran the sims. I'm like, it actually accelerates harder on the L1256.
Sue me. Yeah.
And the super white lightning sounds like it might be kind of cool.
Yeah, he's coming around to the new propellants. He's unboomering. Andrew Gilmore says, yo. He's like, but don't talk to me about this new Blue Thunder.
Don't do it. Although the thrust curve on the M1780 is good, but I just don't, they're not very loud. I want it to be louder.
They're so loud.
They're not so loud.
What are you essing about? You know what? I bet I know why that's happening. It's because you've never seen a 4-grain 75 Blue Thunder motor. And when you see an L1520, it's 100 feet closer. So it seems crazy. And you're like, nah, the M's ass, dude. It sucks. It's so quiet. You might as well whisper in my ear that it's making rock motor noises.
Well, I just mean compare, like an M2050 is really loud.
Yeah, it is quite loud. But I mean, if there was a Blue Thunder 4-grain 75, I think by comparison, it would not be that much quieter than an M1780 or at all. If I'm going to keep it above 50.
It would be louder.
No, I think it's going to be the same or less just because I feel like saying that last part. C-Star motors are the best sounding in my opinion. Yeah, Carl knows what's up. The M2250, man. Shout out. I have one. We'll see how that goes. Best 54mm Aerotech case, Ash Colin Brum. I'm still a little new, but don't want to keep buying DMS. 54 1706 with RS.
Yup.
You get J90s, J180s, you get J275s, you get J800s, K1100s, K1103s,
J415.
Yep, great motor. J615, if you're feeling it.
K550.
K2050, yeah, K550. Of course, there's a lot you can do, and it's a lot of like that's just like the butter zone balance of loud, fun, capable of high altitude, and not incredibly expensive. Although, like,
not cheap.
A 1706 motor is like $168 now.
Yeah, well, if he's been buying DMS, though, I mean,
pretty much the same price now, actually. I don't know about 54s, honestly, but somebody was like, oh, talking about i500s. And I was like, yeah, it's cool, but it costs so much. And they're like, it is the same price as the J350. And unfortunately, they were correct.
Huh.
Did you hear that, Taylor? He's spacing out.
I want to see it for myself.
K400C, $173. It's like $7 extra to get a DMS 54. K535 is 173 as well. Everything's leveled out, man. So we might as well start building disposable rockets and flying DMS mode. Do any of you fly?
Did you say 192?
173 from Tim. Do any of you fly EX regularly, Sugar or Sorbitol? No. We like impulse around here. You know what I'm saying? Oof, I got a box of stuff today and had some old J350s in there. Price tag on them were $45. Yeah, man. Back in the day. Taylor, you remember buying 5417 loads for like $80 on sale?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, my first K740, you know how much that was? $65.
Dude, I remember when they were $90 not on sale.
Oh, boy. What a time to be alive. Did you see Aerotech redesign the J615 with a single throat nozzle? It's now the J550.
Yeah.
No.
What? Okay, I'm way here for it now. I mean, the J615, like the Aerospike was cool, but like it kind of a pain in the you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I think that's going to be it. Postart and I got to go prep LDRS rockets and go to Winco, obviously. If you're just listening to this podcast and aren't familiar with the Winco meme, you should check out the live streams that we do Tuesday nights after we record this podcast on the Rocket Vlogs YouTube channel, which shout out to the chat that's watching that right now. My name is Braden Carlson. You can find me right here on YouTube at Rocket Vlogs. You can follow me on Instagram at BigB1011. Postart and I went and flew the Kato at like 6 a.m. this morning, and the video is going to be done and uploaded soon. So it's so sick, dude. I love that thing. Now I want a big one.
C60?
No, it was so windy. So I did a B60, and then we were going to fly it again, and just like torrential gusts. I don't think that word applies, honestly, but it was like, it was sliding the launch pad sideways across the lake bed. I was like, okay, so we're done now, which sucks because Estes sent me motors, ZWW10 for 10% off anything at SSRockets.com. So I was like ready to fly it 6 times before work, and we got to fly it once. I'll send you the thumbnail, dude. If it doesn't get a bunch of views, it might get me an FBI investigation. All right, plug it up.
My name's Taylor, and you can find me on YouTube at The Rocket Channel.
My name is Shane, or Postart. You can find me on YouTube at Postart Propulsions, on Instagram at Shane Harris Photo, and online at hprtools.com, and at LDRS.
Yeah, we'll be at LDRS. And Matt said since he couldn't be on the episode today, if anybody wants to see what he's up to come see him at LDRS. So that is your open invite to come pester Matt as much as you want at LDRS. We are the Yeah. Don't let him focus on anything at all. We are the Anti-Gravity Group. This is the Anti-Gravity Group podcast, and we will see you all next time.
We might just hear from Nigel the Rocket Cat. Load up the professional masterpiece, you can bet on that. A launch and a chat with them is guaranteed to be a blast. It's the Anti-Gravity Group podcast. Ooh, ooh, ooh.